Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Friday morning trading session. Hang on just a second here. Okay, you should have my monitor. The market's just opened up and it looks, well, actually it looks as though the market is taking over from where it left off yesterday. I was going to say it looks like there might be a little bit of an opening gap, but I don't think so. Let's take a look here at the Eagle. We'll get a bird's eye view, if you will, of where the market left off and where we're going. So prices left off right around here around the 46.10 area yesterday. Asian session a little bit on the quiet side. A lot of activity in the European session on the overnight, but not a whole lot of progress. You can see the market was chopping about a little bit. And this would have been around I believe the non-farm payroll came out today. And you can see the market tailed off a little bit as a result. So things may be with a slightly bearish flavor to start, but it's still very, very early, only a couple of minutes into this morning's session. I'm going to try to give the market a little bit of time here to sort itself out. Right now, the overall trend does seem to be down, however. Actually, if I go back here to the Eagle, you can see that yesterday was a very bearish day. And actually a very good trading day. It's always easier when the market produces a signal and has some follow through to it. So it almost looks as though the market was anticipating the non-farm payroll to be a little bit weaker. So just on the lookout now for an opportunity here. As prices thrash about a little bit. Like I said, we're only a couple of minutes into the session, so we don't want to get too crazy here. Just looking around at crude oil and gold. Gold's still very spotty in its trading. My goodness, it's here's gold on the Eagle, which is the most attractive of the bunch right now. So you can see some pretty crazy swings here in gold prices, but these are kind of gappy. The market making some very quick moves off of the open or just prior to the open. These would be very difficult to capture. This one maybe not so much. We did get our test of the extreme, and we generate a buy signal. This is why you need to take some time and get familiar with the markets you're trading, because they're going to have their own little nuances and whatnot. But at the moment, gold, although bullish looking on the surface, I think it's definitely more of a seller's market longer term. All right, working on a possible 4-arrow consolidation now here and a green bar sell in the hawk. What time is it? Well, it's only 5 minutes into the session. Oh, good. Warning dot disappeared. I don't even need to worry about it. Here's a possible first micro macro cross to the upside. I might, oh shoot. I was going to say I might dial down the risk amount on this one. Well, maybe we can get it on a second push. Here we go. Okay, macro pullback signal. Oh, and now we're into yellow bars. Oh, we were into yellow bars. Yeah, definitely into yellow bars, so we'll leave that one alone for the moment. It does look like we are starting to range again a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, here we go with a red bar buy now on the hawk. Oops, doggone it. Okay, well, it changed into yellow bars anyhow while I was reaching for my signal, so it's just as well. Late filter entry here on the Falcon. Just a very odd type trading day. Okay, here we go with the, shoot. I was going to try to throw a runner in on this one. On this first micro macro cross. So the market a little bit jumpy right now. May have to just pop in with a market order if things don't smooth out a little bit here. All right, so I was a little slow on the switch. We got a couple good buying opportunities. Hopefully somebody was able to take advantage of one of these. We got a late filter entry signal right here. For those of you trading with the Falcon, this is a very, very strong signal. This is strength-wise, it's like the equivalent of the first micro macro cross in the hawk. It's very, very strong. Of course, that doesn't mean it will never fail. It's just that it's a very high probability trade. And what you're looking at here is the filter going out of sync, coming back into sync. The trend line never changes color. Very, very important. And usually translates into a profitable trade. Also had that first micro macro cross signal here and a cloud crossover signal in the Raptor. So that had some nice follow through to it too. Actually, if you take a look at the Raptor here, if you shot a trend line across the bottom, you could see that was some added support on this particular signal right here. And we've got also a trend change signal here in the Eagle. But not to panic. If you didn't get in on that move, I'm certain we'll have another opportunity here shortly. Price is now getting into some familiar territory. or close to it. 4660 was a very popular number. I know that's still a ways away above here from yesterday's session. It's nice to see a little bit more activity in the NQ. Okay, starting to get some fairly wide bars here now, suggesting a lot of buying and selling going on at this particular price level around the 46.40 area. And we might see a short-term top as a result. Wow, they just keep on pushing. We're kind of stuck sitting on our hands at the moment. People always ask me when the market is moving like this, can I get in now? Can I get in now? No. If you happen to miss a move, you happen to miss a move. You just got to wait for the next one. There will be another one. There always is. It won't be the last move you miss. All right, I'm snooping around here a little bit. Looks like crude oil put in a little bit of a rally also on the hawk here. First micro-macro cross signal right here. A little bit of a run up. Now we'll be looking for the sellers to kind of give it their last ditch effort before the bulls take control of crude oil. The problem with the crude oil market right now is the eagle, which is trading into the hard edge and actually producing a green bar sell. if you also take a look at the context of this chart, you'll see that the market seems to be in a downtrend, and this really has the look of a bear flag, doesn't it? So there might be a shorting opportunity in crude oil yet. We'll see how this current rally holds out. And here we are right back to the 46.50 area. I have to say that was a much stronger rally than I anticipated, but like I said, even so, we will get another chance to get in here. Good morning, Tony. Tony's asking, where in Ninja are the alert settings located? Okay, are you referring to your audio alerts, in which case you go to your indicator panel and you find your tool, so in this case it's the Falcon, and then you scroll down here and here are your audio alerts. You can also set up pop-ups. I find them very distracting, especially for day trading, not so much for position trading or end of day trading, but you just get too many and you can't actually get at your screen. But that's how you find your audio alerts, if that's what you're looking for. If not, let me know. KNQ, come on. Darn it, eh? This is most annoying because we did get the signal. It was a clean signal across the board. Market easily found our profit objective. Actually, could have doubled your profit objective there. Still would have got it. Oh well. Like I said, it's not the first move I've missed, and certainly not to be the last. So we just got to hang tough here for a moment until we get another opportunity, which we will shortly, I'm sure. We're now into the primary resistance and getting some big ranges here again on our support and resistance suite. We're very likely to see some sort of reaction here now that we've encountered the primary resistance line, which is this blue one. Oh, I'm just kind of waiting now. Okay, crude oil getting a little bit warmer now on the sell. Here is a couple opportunities. We've got the green bar sell just tripped, and we've also got a more promising failure of a red bar buy. Problem with crude is the expense, right? It's hard to get any kind of decent stop going on here. So there's a possible crude oil trade in the works. And loads of volume coming in now again on the NQ contract. They've rallied pretty much out of the open, so it is likely, I believe, that we're going to see a little bit of a pullback here. Well, they're still pressing. Okay, I think our crude oil trade just triggered. So let's bring that over here real quick. So this was a failure of the red bar buy that I was attempting to do here. These failures of red bar buys or green bar sells normally develop into first micro macro cross signals. So you can always use them just as an early warning signal also. Come on, get down there. Who would have ever thought that we would be shorting $40 a barrel for crude oil? Certainly put a wrinkle in the oil patch, though. I grew up in central Alberta, in the heart of the oil patch. Actually, the community I lived in was the first place they found oil in Alberta way back in the 1940s. So, talking to my dad a little while ago, I could get a really good deal on some pretty big pickup trucks right now. As all the people working in the oil industry, when they were making money hand over fist, of course, leveraged themselves to the hilt, bought all these big fancy toys, and now are having a hard time paying for them because they're laid off because the price of oil, of course, is so low. This is a very decisive bar for this particular trade. There we go. We got our break even. Come on, get that profit target. Oh, there we go. Okay. If that bar had failed, there would be a very real possibility that we would see crude oil continue higher, retest the highs at the very least. I would have gotten pretty quick about rolling my stop in, I think. Okay, that was a lot more difficult than the NASDAQ rally this morning, but here we are looking at a little bit of a trend change signal, perhaps a little profit-taking opportunity, which might send the market lower, but not going to get too crazy on the short side here. I think our best course of action is still to wait for a pullback and a chance to buy the market higher. Oh, Tony's going to give it a shot. He got Russell trade short at 1176.4 and covered at 1174.4. Nicely done, Tony. Here, I'm going to show you guys this one, even though, you know, we're in a very strong trend. It's very likely we will see a little bit of a pullback here, but we've got a trend change signal. Now, this one, very counter trend, obviously. You know, the market making a big move higher here. Oh, it's running away from me while I'm talking. I'll throw a limit in, see if we can't still simulate this on a limit. if we get a little bit of a pullback. The only nice thing about a counter trend signal is that very often you can cover it above the high. So you've got this area right here where you definitely know you're wrong about the trade. All right, so we just got to fill there. All we're doing is we're simulating this trade. I wouldn't really recommend this trade given the very strong uptrend that we've seen this morning. It's not to say I don't think it's going to work out. It's just that risk-wise or probability-wise, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. It gives us something to watch anyway. Okay, so here come the buyers trying to recover the market now. Our trend line waffling here a little bit. This may develop into a late filter entry if, in fact, the sellers manage to push the market a little bit lower here. Okay, the filter's not quite in sync yet. So what you would do is, if you're looking at this late filter entry, you would enter below the low of this bar, which is the one that flips the filter back over. And here we're coming back once again to the support zone. Managed to hit the break-even trigger, so we're 3/4 of the way to our profit objective. Come on, get down there. Get down there. A little premature buying coming into the market. Oh, you scoundrels. All right, I'm just going to give them the high of this bar. Well, they would have come back here and tapped me at break even, so I at least got a couple of dollars out of the trade. Stinkers. The trend is pretty strong though. Don't know how aggressive I really want to be on the sell. Let's take a look at the hawk here for a moment. We did get a 4-arrow consolidation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also coincided with our first micro macro cross signal. Remember, with the 4-arrow consolidations, we either want to see the shape of the consolidation pattern to be like a flag, whether a bear flag or a bull flag, depending whether the market's going up or down, or at the very least a sideways consolidation. Okay, a little bit of waffling going on as we're back into the hard edges now here on the Raptor and the Eagle. Well, the Eagle approaching the hard edge. Lots of support coming in here now around this 46, 40, 46.50 region. I know it's a pretty big region, but the hard edge on the Eagle here, 46.42. The Eagle actually producing a red bar buy signal. It's currently against the ATR, but you know what? This is the type of signal I think if you're going to be looking at a test of the extreme, something you're going to want to get in sooner rather than later. Not the strongest looking signal right now. I know it's a high probability signal for us, but the market conditions are such that I might try to actually tighten my entry here and get in on the hash mark if we see another rally. So how I was mentioning before, if you're looking at the context, this is kind of a bull flag type scenario now. Looking for a breakout and a retest of the extreme. It would be easier to stomach if the market had, well, here on the Raptor, how on the Raptor we tend to look for the double pullbacks. And in fact, the Raptor cloud attempting to cross over. Or at least one of the bands crossing over. So a little bit of a variation in the signals now. We're getting a macro pullback here on the Hawk, which is still bearish. Possible late filter entry again here on the Falcon, but the late filter entry signal, like most of our signals, we don't want to see, late filter entry followed by late filter entry followed by late filter entry, because the probabilities actually decrease the more you get of it. My eagle trade here, very, very aggressive. Definitely Floyd. I agree with what Floyd says here. He says, I think the best moves of the day are over. I would agree with that. No question, this rally out of the gate was by far the best move. And yes, there were subsequent signals. But yeah, that was the move of the day, no question. Okay, so far the eagle trade, not too bad. Just about to kiss the break-even trigger. Got a little bit of waffling going on here. I could actually expand this break even, but you know what? I'll leave it where it is. I just noticed my eagle break even. Normally I like to run the break even about 3/4 of the way to the profit objective. This one looks to my eye to be closer to about half. But I won't change it now. Don't touch your trade when you have an active trade going. All right, hit the break even. Now we're playing with their money, kind of, sort of. If we can see the NQ press here above 46.56, I think we're going to have a good chance to get to our profit objective. Come on, get in there. Let's see what's going on the Geiger counter. Oh, the buyers are chewing through a few orders there, or they were. Now the sellers are making a bit of a comeback. Getting a first micro macro cross now on the Hawk. You could take the signal right here, or if you're concerned that the market might be coming range bound, you can also enter above the high. If you're going to enter above the high, you could run a tighter stop. If I were to enter on the hash mark, I would probably try to keep my stop somewhere below the swing low. But if you're going to enter above the high, give up those extra 4 or 5 ticks to get your entry, you can certainly run a slightly tighter profit or stop loss. Boy, we got some serious chop going on here. Now into a macro pullback signal. We're going to give it one more try. What's going on with the Geiger counter? Oh, it's kind of neutral. little bit of buying action there. The hawk definitely struggling. So 1, 2, if this trips, we'll get signal number 3, and then maybe signal number 4. The stronger support for this trade, obviously, down here. The downside for this particular trade might be the proximity of my stop loss order. Okay, so there's signal number 3. 1, 2, 3. This is working now a 4-arrow consolidation. And we're getting a little bit of a burst to the upside. Come on. You know what? I'm going to get more aggressive with my stop here. Okay, here's signal number 4. Come on, get up there. So it looks like it's unfortunate that the Eagle trade reached back just a little bit too far, tapped the break-even trigger, or at least right now it looks unfortunate that that was the case. Actually, now that we're out of this trade, I can adjust my break-even trigger. So to do that, you're going to go to your trade manager or your Trailblazer, and you need to turn it off. So here where it says enabled true, you need to disable it. So we're going to click false and apply. That's going to turn off the trade manager, and now we can go up here and we can say break-even trigger 20 ticks. Well, let's make it 30 ticks on the NQ. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to save it as my Eagle. So my template, next time I go to load it, it will be there. And now I can enable my trade manager again. And this time I'll have my trigger at 30 ticks. All right, it looks like we hit our profit objective on the Hawk trade. Hooray! I'm just going to save this while I have everything the way I want it. Okay. So a nice little push to the upside there. And now we're just kind of on hold. We're almost an hour into the session, and this is typically the time, if there's been a dominant trend, that we'll see a reversal against the trend. And it looks like this might be the case this time also. Getting a few more yellow bars cropping up here. Excuse me. There's not much we can do other than wait them out here for a few minutes. Oh, where was I looking that I didn't see this late filter entry signal here on the Falcon? Nice little signal. Filter goes out of sync, comes into sync. Trend line never changes color. Also coincides with our trend change signal, where the trend line changes color. Here's the up, here's the down, here's the up, and there's our signal. Well, actually, I suppose the proper trend change signal occurred just a few bars earlier, and that was followed very quickly by a late filter entry signal. Nice trend line touch signal here that we're working at the moment. Problem with this trend line touch, because the market is kind of moving sideways, is I'd have to cover it pretty deep. But looks like we would have at least reached our break-even trigger on that one. Tony's asking, can you go over the break-even setup again? Sure. There's not much going on. So whatever tool you're using, here we'll do it on the Falcon. So you go to your indicators. Oops, sorry. Strategies, because your trade manager is a strategy. So you go to your strategies tab. Highlight your trade manager or Trailblazer, whatever tool you happen to be using. You need to turn it off. You can't make any changes here while it's on. So you need to go here where it says enabled, false, and apply. That's going to turn it off. Now you can make your changes, and your break-even function is near the very top here. So auto break-even parameters. Enable or disabled. They didn't need the disabled part here. Enabled, true or false. So enabled, yours is probably say false if you don't have it on, so you want to turn it on to true. And then you preset your break-even trigger. So with the Falcon, I have it at 15 ticks because I have a 20 tick target, so that's about 3/4 of the way there. And then you can also preset your offset. So you can set it to 0, you can set it +1 ticks, +2, +5, whatever. Or you can also set, a lot of people don't know this, you can set a negative offset. So if you want it to be, hit the break even trigger and maybe hold it 2 ticks below your entry, then you would put -2. So when all the parameters are set the way you want them, go back down here. Now you want to save them. If you haven't saved a template yet, just click on save and type your template name, whatever it happens to be. All right, and then just press enter and it will automatically save your template. So next time you load the chart or you load a new chart and you want to put that template on there, all you have to do is go here to load and you can load whatever template it is. Now you go to your enabled and you turn your trade manager back on, and everything should be working for you with your new break-even parameters. So it looks like after a bit of thrashing about, that trendline touch signal did find the profit target after all. Now it looks as though we're going to see the market perhaps make a little bit of a dip back near the highs of the morning. You can see here on the Raptor, right into those big opening range, but right back into those highs of the day. Okay, here's a Raptor signal, and this is a soft edge sell now. I know it's actually into the hard edge, but it's a soft edge sell. And it has had a test of the extreme. These soft edge sells normally have itty bitty tests of the extreme. So essentially a quick little double top there, and we would be looking for a short-term move lower. This is very much a counter trend signal, very much a higher risk trade. However, if you have a market that's struggling to get higher, there is a pretty good chance it's going to try to test the lower end of the trading range. And again, as with most counter trend signals, the appeal is that you can cover the trade above the high, above the contract high. So that makes it a little bit more palatable. obviously the trend is still up, so our better trades are going to tend to be those that are with the trend, but I'm just looking to capitalize on a little short-term normalization. There we go, just about to hit the break-even target and our first profit objective. We do have 2 contracts going in on this one. You know what? I'm not going to give them that. They're that close to my profit target. Get down there, you scoundrels. Nope, just didn't want to. I might have been a little anxious with that one, but there wasn't much momentum there. I'll just stay with it for a little while yet. Here they come, the buyers. So we had a first micro-macro cross signal here that's kind of been rejected and it's drifted into yellow bars. We had the sell attempt here into the hard edge that has been hesitant. And now we're getting a buy signal in the Raptor. All right. We'll throw a buy in there and we'll try to cover it below the low. This is with trend now. Come on, get up there. Very, very tricky, right? Very congested trading going on here. All right, hit the first profit objective. Back into the highs of the session. Let's go, boys and girls. Keep going. The Geiger counter was trying to chew through some buy orders there. Tony says, my wife just walked by the office and said, boy, he must be mad, right after I said, scoundrels. Yes, it's a G-rated program, folks. All right, we're having a little better follow through on this one. See the width of the bar here? Very much a tug of war going on this bar. If we can see the buyers take control of this bar, we should be in pretty good shape. There we go. Get up there. Okay, I'm going to move now into my parabolic stop strategy. Here we go. Okay. Getting a little bit of breathing room on the trade now. And I think, what have we got in open profit so far? Not bad. Just under $200 in open profit. There you go. Come on. Come on. Get up there. Come on. I'm afraid to blink. Get up there. I'll give it a little nudge with the mouse. There we go. Get going. Another one of these tug of war type bars where the buyers and sellers really going head to head right now. And I think we're going to get tagged here in a moment. You can see again the width of the bar. Market turning a little bit as it looks short term. Maybe the sellers taking control. The Geiger counter just hard over here, just chewing through those orders, almost certain to get stopped. What have we got in open profit? I'll take it. Thank you very much. You know, at the end of the day, let your pocketbook be your guide. I know my stop would have protected most of that. I would have just been tagged here, but I still probably managed to pick up an extra $30, $35, $40. Well, it could have been much better today had we gotten in on that trend right out of the gate. Hopefully somebody was able to catch it. It's rare that we see them move that strongly though right out of the open, but it is nice when it happens, and it's even nicer if you can participate. Well, we're not doing too bad. We've carved a few dollars out of the market here this morning. And now it looks as though we're going to enter yet another consolidation phase. So you know what, folks? I think we're going to button up the room a little bit early here. It is Friday. If you're going to hang out and try to trade the rest of the day, well, the trend definitely up. I would not get too aggressive to the short side. I think you could shoot a trend line across the lows here, and that would be as good a guide as any as where you want to look for buying opportunities. Expect the market to thrash about a little bit, however. We are at some pretty serious levels here. The NQ made some pretty dramatic gains today, so a little bit of a pullback is to be expected. Go all in, all out on your targets. I think that's going to be the safest course of action. Crude oil pretty much stuck sideways for the session, and gold has been very quiet since this morning's rally also. All right, you guys, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. I will see you again next Monday morning, and well, I guess we'll talk to you then. Bye for now.